Good morning, everybody. My name is Pablo Barrera, and I'm Executive Vice President of Strategy and Communication in Yara. It's great to be here with you in this digital format. I wish we could have met in person, but I think this virtual event is a good substitution. Over the coming minutes, I will share with you what we do in Yara, why it matters, and how you, hopefully, can play a role in the future of Yara. Who knows, maybe some of my future colleagues are sitting out there right now. Let's jump straight into it. Fertilizer is the world's most life-saving innovation. It saved more life than any vaccine. It saved almost 3 billion people. And many of you might ask, what is fertilizer? Fertilizer is the food that the plants eat. Plants are like humans. They need nutrition to grow and prosper, like the plant I have here. This plant needs phosphorus, it needs nitrogen, and it needs potassium. Fertilizer provides those nutrients to the plant. And Yara has been a pioneer in fertilizer. In 1905, here in Norway, Yara invented what we call mineral fertilizer. The Yara scientists found a way to extract nitrogen from the air and make it available for a plant so that the plant could grow. And why is this important? It's important because in 1905, Europe was on the brink of famine, and we needed to find a way to produce more food. In Yara, here in Norway, we found the solution to that problem. As you all know, the world is facing big challenges. The population is expected to grow to almost 10 billion people by 2050. And we know that every day, almost 800 people go hungry to bed. So we will need to produce more food in the future. At the same time, we know that the emissions are increasing, and that if we don't do something to curb our current greenhouse gas emissions, we will not be able to meet the Paris Agreement by 2030. This is a huge challenge. And we know that farming matters. Farming matters because it's responsible for 25% of greenhouse gas emissions. At the same time, we also know that farming consumes 75% of all freshwater. And we also know that more than 500 million farmers out there depend on farming for their livelihoods. So on the one hand side, we need to produce more food to feed a growing population. We need to do it in a way that's more sustainable, that takes better care of the planet, and at the same time, we need to safeguard the livelihood of the 5 million farmers that depend on the food they grow every day so that they can have food on the table and we can have food on the table. Global challenges require global solutions, and Yara is a truly global company. We have offices in more than 60 countries. We sell our product to 160 countries, and we have 16,000 talented colleagues all over the world working every day to feed a growing population in a more sustainable way. The foundation of the passion of every employee in Yara is our mission and our vision: to responsibly feed the world and protect the planet, to achieve a collaborative society, a planet respected, and a world without hunger. These statements are front and center in everything we do, and they mean just as much for a person working in one of our plants as they do for a person working in finance, as they do for an agronomist working on the ground meeting farmers every day. They are the true motivation behind everything we do. Many of you will be familiar with the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. These goals were defined by the United Nations as the 17 areas we as a global community need to work on to deliver on the Paris Agreement and thereby having a more sustainable planet. In Yara, sustainability has been front and center in our strategy ever since we were founded more than 100 years ago. Being responsible for strategy in Yara, I always say Yara does not have a sustainability strategy. We have a strategy which is sustainable. And we make that come alive through taking the goals that the United Nations gave us, the SDGs, and we place concrete targets on how we will deliver on those different goals. We measure those targets and we report on it. We have targets within zero hunger, we have targets within gender equality, and we have targets within climate action. As I mentioned, we have targets on climate neutrality, and our target is to be climate neutral by 2050. It's an ambitious target, but we've already taken important steps along the journey. We've actually managed to reduce our emissions with 50% from 2005 until now. And we will continue to take actions until we reach our ambitious goal of climate neutral in 2050. How are we going to achieve this target? We're going to do it by continuing to decarbonize our own production. So we have today several pilot projects where we are looking at taking green energy and using that to replace fossil fuels. In addition to that, we're working with food companies and farmers to improve how food is grown so that end to end we can decarbonize the food value chain. And this is something which we see a great interest around. We have a collaboration with one food company and we're talking to many others that want to work with us to decarbonize how food is made. And I hope that soon you will be able to go to the grocery store and see a CO2 marking on the food you buy so that you can make a conscious choice and buy the food that has the lowest CO2 footprint. And that will be enabled by technology that Yara has. We're not only looking at the CO2 emissions within our value chain, we're also looking at how can we use nutrients and other input factors in a more efficient way. And one of the initiatives we have to do this is a collaboration we have with Veolia. Veolia is the world's biggest waste collector and processor. And with them, we're working on taking nutrients from the waste streams they manage and using those nutrients as input into our production, thereby creating a circular loop. Another way we're working on making food production more sustainable is through the use of digital tools. In Yara, we meet every year 1 million farmers. However, the world has 500 million farmers, and if we want to reach those farmers with our knowledge to help them grow food in a way which uses less water, less land, and produces more nutritious food, we need a channel to reach out to them. And that is where digital comes into play. Through the use of digital tools and digital channels, we can reach millions of farmers. And by doing that, we can make each farmer a scientist. We can provide them with the knowledge that Yara has built up over decades by using their cell phone or a web page. And I want to show you a really cool tool we have developed. The end clip is a sensor. It's a so-called nitrogen sensor. And you clip it on your phone, and then you can go over to a plant and you can measure the nitrogen content in the plant. And why is that important? It's important because plants, like us humans, need to eat an adequate amount of different nutrients to grow optimally. And through this sensor, we help the farmer provide that optimal nutrition for their crops on their fields. A really cool innovation. And there's more to come if you stay tuned. If you want to be a part of a team of 16,000 passionate people that every day all over the globe work hard to make food more sustainable, I really encourage you to go into our website and check out the vacancies we have, or apply for the internship program. I'm sure you won't regret it. I hope to see many of you as my future colleagues. Before we finish, I would also like to share some reflections from my journey here in Yara. I've been in Yara now for more than 6 years, and it's been a fantastic journey. I've been fortunate enough to see many parts of the company, and I've been lucky enough to visit many of our physical locations. I've met farmers, I've met operators in our plants, and I've met people working in the administrative functions, all geared and fired up to deliver every day on our mission. And that really fills me with a lot of motivation and excitement. I've seen with my own eyes, on the ground, that what we do really matters. I visited a potato farmer in India and saw how our products helped him have a better quality potato and thereby get more for his produce. I've also visited a farmer in Chile and seen how our solutions help them increase their yield on their cornfield. And I visited an almond farmer in the US where our solutions enabled him to use less water and thereby having a more sustainable production. And everything I've seen on the ground has an impact for all of us. It will contribute to more sustainable food production and healthier products. That for me is why I get up in the morning. And I hope you're also intrigued and interested in learning more about Yara and how you can contribute to a more sustainable future for everybody. Thank you.
Hi Isak.
Hi Jan.
How are you doing?
Good.
Pressure's on.
Oh God.
Er du klar?
Good to go.
Yara er en bedrift som produserer gjødsel, digitale løsninger som bistår bønder til å lage mat til hele verden.
It's a very complex organisation. We have presence in over 60 countries, so we have a huge presence across the world, yet we're actually less than 20,000 employees. So we're quite a lean organisation.
What's actually impressive is all the technology, all the processes, all the people. You know, there's a lot more happening behind the scenes.
Vi samarbeider med andre aktører i verdikjeden for å få denne maten så næringsrik og klimavennlig som mulig.
For me, working at Yara as a chemical engineer has been nothing but a dream.
I'm working to develop some sort of competence model for our agronomers.
I'm part of the finance and performance improvement department, so I look a lot into the figures and numbers that we deliver.
I've joined this new team, digital production, writing code and machine learning code to try to optimize the plants.
Jeg jobber i HR, og det er vel egentlig menneskene i bedriften. Og når man begynner i Yara, så er en av de første møter.
Jeg har jobbet med å sammenligne ulike gjødseltyper og se på hvilke områder det er vi kan bli bedre på, og hvordan man kan tilby bedre løsninger til bøndene.
Jobber med utvikling av digitale produkter rettet mot landbruk, matproduksjon. Det siste halvåret har vi jobbet med å identifisere sustainability metrics som vi kan bruke i våre digitale løsninger for å måle bøndene på bærekraft.
I rotated in all the different areas of HR, which was an amazing experience, and now landing in the HRBP role. So it's been a fast, crazy journey so far.
So making sure that our central learning management system is working and has content for the people that we have.
But for now, right?
Yes, for now. Yeah.
My work is valued. I definitely feel like it's been contributing to Yara's baseline.
De oppgavene man får ting som faktisk blir brukt i organisasjonen, som er veldig gøy.
Det er jo veldig kjekt å kunne komme på jobb og så vite at det jeg og det teamet jeg jobber med, og de andre her jobber med, det er med på å adressere noen av de største utfordringene vi står overfor. For eksempel i forhold til avskoging, ressursoptimalisering i matproduksjon og så videre.
Coming as someone that is new, you don't feel the pressure to simply just learn how to do Yara. You can build Yara together with everyone.
Especially for someone who just comes out of university, who's kind of maybe a bit insecure of their potential. I think the amount of responsibility and time that they invest in the younger generation is actually quite remarkable.
I just got the opportunity to travel from one side to the other side of the world, to live a completely different life that I never expected.
Det er ganske mye vanskeligere enn jeg hadde forestilt meg, så jeg føler jeg blir utfordret nesten hver eneste dag.
No day is similar, and then always being able to be challenged as an employee.
And that's, I think, one of the reasons why I've loved it so much, that it's so varied.
Du kan jobbe egentlig i en avdeling hele livet og likevel jobbe med noe nytt. Det er veldig mange spennende utfordringer vi står overfor, og masse fantastiske mennesker.
Yara has so much knowledge, and that the people here are so willing to work together and share that knowledge.
We have a very open approach.
People are very comfortable with each other. They care about each other and they share their experiences, so that brings some sort of transparency.
Man møter folk med veldig mange forskjellige bakgrunner. Jeg jobber både med agronomer, biologer, ingeniører, andre økonomer. Og jeg synes det gjør at man lærer veldig mye mer enn man ville gjort hvis man hadde vært i et mindre tverrfaglig sted.
Det beste med å jobbe i Yara, det er at det er veldig internasjonalt. Jeg har jobbet både i Oslo, Singapore, Sao Paulo, og har kolleger fra sikkert 30 land.
I hear Portuguese in one floor, Spanish in another floor, Norwegian and English all around. So
I don't know, I just like that environment where it's kind of everyone just mixed in this blob of culture. So.
Despite the language barriers, despite the cultural differences, we managed to work together and achieve something that really benefits society.
Yara har et veldig sterkt mission og vision om å responsibly feed the world and protect the planet.
I love the history that we have. I love the fact that we started out in 1905 to support the European famine and created a solution, and that we've continued to do that. We've stuck to our roots and we've recognised the changes and advancements we need to make.
I feel like right now they're putting into agenda, okay, we have the challenges that are coming up, not only with the climate but many other things, and we need to tackle them.
Hvis man klarer å samarbeide på tvers av hele matsystemet, så har det enormt potensial for å hjelpe med løsninger mot klimaproblemet.
Vi har så mange folk fra forskjellige land og bakgrunner som jobber med oss, som også gjør at vi er i en posisjon der vi kan klare å løse disse problemene.
Søk!
Go for it!
Apply!
It was and it still is one of the best experiences I had.
Have a look at what Yara is doing, have a look at what positions are open.
Many of the entry-level jobs gives you opportunity to grow and also to gain the knowledge and expertise you seek.
Don't be nervous in a way.
Søk Yara hvis du er nysgjerrig, kan tenke litt utenfor boksen. Hvis du har en sterk motivasjon for å adressere noen av de problemene og utfordringene vi står for i forhold til bærekraft.
Yara is currently undergoing some large changes. That opens up some new doors. You'll be able to set the scene.
If you want to build something instead of just learning how to, this is the place for you to be. And you will definitely find amazing people along the way.
Organisasjonen elsker når unge mennesker kommer inn. Så ikke nøl, bare søk.